Hey everyone, so I have got the Tamagotchi Uni and I just ordered this other Tamagotchi Uni. So now I have two. I got them both on Amazon actually, so this one is like the English packaging and this one was like the Japanese packaging, which I got the passport, which is cool. I wasn't expecting to get that. The only problem with these is I don't love the colour of either of them the way they are on their own. So I am gonna try to swap the shells, or attempt to make them a little bit more custom. So what I want is I want the purple shell on the front with like the blue back with the blue buttons, and then for now we're gonna just change this faceplate onto this one. I want to explore other faceplates. But I normally have a stash of like fancy paper. I've lost it, I don't know where it is. But like Daiso have like this really cool like origami paper you can get, and I was just gonna take like this out and trace onto that. But I lost my stash. So for now, we're just gonna transfer this one over to this one, and that's hopefully the aesthetic that I will go for. And then we'll also have like almost a fully pink Tamagotchi on this side. I haven't 100% decided what I'm gonna do with that yet, but I'm feeling maybe like a Hello Kitty theme. Like if I'm gonna have a fully pink Tamagotchi, I might as well run with it the full way. So I'm feeling Hello Kitty or like some kind of Sanrio character. This one, I just want it to look like the one I like. So I honestly haven't turned this one on yet because you can't turn them off after you turn them on. And I mainly ordered it for parts. I don't really want to be running two Tamagotchis at the moment. But here's who I have at the moment. It's got the Tamagotchi Uni. Oh, if it's gonna focus. I didn't change the lighting on this. I can change it. Let's go. So brightness, just for the camera, it might show a little bit better here. I hope this works, because otherwise I've just wasted a bunch of time. Oh, it's a little bit better. Anyway, that's who I've got currently. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully change this shell without damaging it. I saw some videos online because like these back screws have caps, and I have removed things like this before, but they weren't on clear plastic, so I used to get like a screwdriver, like a flathead, and like wiggle them out. But because this is clear plastic, I don't want to show the scratches on it, so I saw someone use like hot glue to like hot glue it on and then pull it off, and I don't know if it's going to damage the plastic, but we'll give it a go. I guess we'll be testing on this one first because the pink back is the one I don't want. I want the blue back. So hopefully I don't ruin it, and there's no way of turning this off currently. I need Bandai to like hurry up and update to do that, because they did change the sound settings in the first update, so hopefully they can give us a bloody power down button, because I'm an adult and I sometimes need to turn this off because I have a job, and just putting it on the babysitting thing is not helpful. Sometimes I need this off for several days, and sometimes I want to play with it for several days. It just pooped. Anyway, let's attempt to change the shell on this. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get this glue stick, and we're just gonna get like this little like lighter that I have, and we're just gonna like flick the flame around the top, like try to melt it a little bit, see how we go. I don't want to burn it or anything, because you can do that and it'll go black in the end. And forgot I haven't used hot glue in a while, so it just kind of got stuck to my finger there. And then we just have to put it on this cap and let it cool down all the way, and then hopefully later we can just pull it off and it will come off with the cap. Let's see how we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is attempt 1 and it came off straight away. I'm just not sure if like maybe I didn't like heat it up for long enough or what, but we're gonna give it a go. So instead of like just doing one at a time, I've decided to just attach all 4 glue sticks to the bottom of this thing, and hopefully this will work out. So let's give this one a go. So now this does take a little bit of getting used to. I did fail more times than I succeeded at the start. As you can see, I just went through 3 of these and they just all didn't work. I did struggle a little bit on this last one, but we were finally successful. I'm not gonna lie, I got very loud. I was very excited that we finally got that one done. So yeah, here's just the little cap, and it comes off pretty easily. You just have to kind of pick it off. The hot glue really doesn't do any damage, so that's one of many. And then we're gonna make sure that we put these away somewhere safe so we don't lose them, because guaranteed they are small, and the first thing I did when I got these is I dropped them. So yeah, here we are, we have all of them off, and now we can start taking things apart. So, and here's the backs of the Tamagotchi without the caps on. Okay, so we're going to start with the 4 screws on the back. I am just going to show you guys me taking apart one of these. Just be careful when you are taking these apart. You know, if things can happen, you never know when things can go wrong, but sometimes it's risk willing to make. Anyway, so I just want to slowly separate it. You don't want to lose the little reset button in the back, so just put those aside. There's 2 more screws on the inside, and it's then pretty easy to take apart after that, so don't want to lose these screws either. Just make sure you keep your screws in a little container or something. They can get slippery and get misplaced. I did check the screws from the inside and the outside. They are pretty much the same. I think they're exactly the same screws, so it doesn't really matter which ones you put back in which spot. But if you're like me, I like to put them in separate piles and make sure the ones that came from where they came from go exactly where they go back. Anyway, so that's the first part there. So that's all the screws. Now there's nothing really holding the board in. We're just gonna have to wiggle it out. I do struggle with this a little bit, but that's mostly because I'm doing it on camera. It's my first time. So I found the easiest way to actually lift it out is to grab it from the top where the Wi-Fi signal part of the plastic is, and the USB port, the USB Type-C port, and just kind of lift slowly and slowly wiggle it, and eventually it does come loose. Again, I'm making it look a lot harder than it actually is, and that's just because I'm filming and it's the first time taking it apart. After a bit of practice, you'll get used to this. But yeah, I think I do end up taking it apart off camera, just because I know that if I do it on camera, I'm going to mess it up. Okay, so I finally get it off. So we have the main board of the screen, just put that aside. And then we also have the part that we are trying to change, the faceplate. This is pretty easy to do. There's 3 tabs in there, and you just need to get a flathead screwdriver. So there's 1 tab on one side and then 2 tabs on the other, and you just want to press them in slightly. You'll see what I mean when you see the piece, and then you just give it a little push and it should just come out after. So I'm pretty sure I just loosen it there. It should come out. Yep, there we go. And then what we're replacing is that piece of paper. And that's all it is, a piece of paper. So you can replace that with anything, really. Go online, use that as a template, do what you want. We're going to do the same thing with the other one as well. Okay, so now for the fun part. Now that everything's been taken apart, we can put the parts back together in the orientation that we would like. So I put the faceplate from the other one into this one. I'm trying to make sure I don't get too much dust in here. I probably will clean it up again a little bit better later. Same thing with the pink one. We're just going to do the same thing, put the new faceplate in. Don't love the pink look at the moment, so I am going to change the faceplate to something else later. Next part is we're just going to put in the buttons, so make sure you swap the buttons out, or if you want to just put the buttons back in, just make sure that the membranes are still part there. They have little tabs, so you just have to make sure you put them in the right way. You'll be able to see it. And yeah, that's the buttons, and now we just have to put the board back in. Okay, as always, you're going to see me struggle off camera slightly, so you just want to put it face down, wiggle it into place, take your time, and yeah, then we just have to put the replacement screws in. I am going to fast forward slightly because I did put the screws in, but I didn't put them in the right spot. Just make sure you put them in the board and not in the post straight away. You'll see what I mean in a second, but let's just try to get to that point here. So as you can see, I will just like struggle to put it together because it's not going together because I've got the screw in the wrong spot. So I end up figuring this out. Took me a little bit, but I figured it out. So I'm just going to take it apart again and put the screw in the right spot. So it goes into the white part on the board, not in the post. So I end up fixing it, figured out how to make it flush, and then just make sure you put the reset button back in, and everything should lay flush. If something's not laying flush, after it should just go on top. So if it's not laying flush, you've done something wrong. But after that, just put the 4 screws in the back, put the screw caps back on, and that's it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys here what it was like when it was all put together for the pink one. I put it pretty much back together except for the front plate, I just didn't click it in. So I'm just gonna use the original faceplate to like trace a copy onto like some other kind of paper. At the moment I only have like contact paper. It's that stuff you use to like decorate like books. And like other things, but this is all I really have right now. What I would have liked to use would have been like that origami paper that you can get from Daiso, just because that stuff was already flat and the stuff I had and I'm using now comes in a roll, so everything was trying to curl in on itself. I originally went with this color, but then I ended up changing my mind. So I did a test fit here. It is just a little bit fiddly to get like it all done. I ended up going with like this other sparkly one that I had in my collection of vinyls. Again, this is just cheap like contact from like Kmart, or I don't know what you guys have over like in the States. Maybe you can get it at Walmart, but it's just contact paper. And yeah, I really liked how this pink one turned out. So I think we'll be keeping this style for a little bit. So there we have it. There's the 2 Tamagotchis that I've done. I ended up changing my mind about what faceplate to go with on this one, just because I was looking through my stuff and I found the sparkly. I feel at the moment this one gives very much like Barbie vibes, which I'm not mad at. I will eventually make like a proper custom plate. I would like to make this one at like Hello Kitty one, but I don't hate it at the moment. It's quite nice. I still haven't turned it on. I'm just going to assume this one works, as this one hasn't broken either, because I don't want to turn on another Tamagotchi right now. Maybe later. But this one's all working. So there's my baby right there. The shell looks great. I honestly like this faceplate on this one more than I thought. I was going to change it and make it custom, but I really like the way that looks. So I might leave it for a bit. I did put the screw caps on the back of this one because I don't feel like I will be changing it for a while. This one, however, I have left off just because I feel like I'm going to change it soon and I'm not going to be carrying it around because I'm not currently playing with this one. So it's going to be fine. It'll be fine. I'm just going to leave it, probably put it back in its box. It does look quite sparkly, quite dazzling. But yeah, the holographic looks pretty good actually. So yeah, that's how this little experiment turned out. I'm kind of glad that it wasn't too hard to do. I was really worried about the hot glue damaging the back, but it turns out it was fine. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It just took a few tries to get the caps off, and after they were off, you were pretty much good. So yeah, that's how those turned out. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I might explore faceplates a little bit more. It was a little bit fiddly to get this one like to the right size. I do have a Cricut machine, which is just a cutting machine. It's like, think of it as a printer that cuts things. So I might make some designs and then maybe see if I can get that to cut them more accurately. But that seems like a big project for now, and at the moment I'm just going to enjoy these and just play with them. I'll play with this one and then eventually I'll run both at the same time. but I'm more inclined to run a second one if Bandai would just update it and give us a power off button. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.